So, hi everyone. My name is Darwin Chi, and this is my assistant Chi. You'd like to repeat the name, right? I'm not going to tell you the reason. So, I came from Joint Securities, which is security companies in Vietnam. In Vietnam, it's not really big, but like in yeah, in Taiwan, it's a really big security companies, including banks and financial companies. It's actually the top one securities and banks in Taiwan. Yeah. So a little bit about myself. I studied in the US for 7 years, and then I came back and worked as an undercarriage worker for Honda. Basically, what I do is like I go under cars and then like I fix the motor parts. And then I also work as the product manager for Sunhua Furniture. I think for like just 6 months because that job is quite boring. And then I work as a senior analyst for From Bank for more than 2 years. I have experience and meet with more than I think 250 organizations in Vietnam. And as of now, I'm working as the sales executive for Zonta Securities. And sorry. Yeah, this is what I'm working right now. So that is like just a little bit about myself. And what I want to talk with you guys today is about the Trump tariff impact on the Vietnam Stock Exchange. First, I want to know if any of you guys have experience like trading stocks. No, none. Okay, so the stock market is one of the easiest, but also like the hardest channel for you guys to invest while you are still a student, because you don't need like a large amount of capital, and there's no time for you guys to like take back the profit. Like everything you own is gonna be the profit. You don't need to spend time to build your shop, your companies, or anything like that. So that is one of the easiest like access, easiest channel to access for like student. But like also it's the hardest because you guys can lose all of your money on the stock market. Right. So about the Trump tariff, have any of you guys like heard about the Trump tariff or like have any like knowledge about that event recently? No, you have. One hair. I saw you like nodding. Do you know what it's like about?
Trump raised the tariff on the.
Yeah. So Trump, like what he thinks is that other countries is blocking like the U.S. economy by like China like tariff that make the U.S. cannot sell their products into other countries. So on the 3rd of April 2025, he declared like a very large amount of tariff on almost every country, and for Vietnam is 46%, which is the I think it's the highest. Is it?
For transshipment.
Nah, that's later. Yeah. So like it's 46% for Vietnam, which is the highest tariff in the Southeast Asia region. And the reason for that is because so he said that the U.S. run a large good trade deficit with Vietnam. With over 104 billion in 2024, according to their data. And also, like Vietnam has become one of the fastest growing exporters to the U.S., especially in products like textile, footwear, computer components. And he said that it's unfair trade, right? And the most important reason why he put this very high trade for Vietnam is because he wanted to control the growth of the China economy, which is the biggest rival for the US economy right now. So like if he doesn't like do this move, like in like I say like 3 to 5 years, China is gonna overcome US in like every sector. So let's talk about like why this tariff is unreasonable, because the 46% is a really high tariff. Imagine if you guys sell something, let's say you earn like $10 and you have to pay like $4.6 for tax, right? So this is the formula that the US used to impose the tariff on other countries. I actually don't understand what it is either, but so this is a simple formula. So what he did is he just took the trade deficit of the goods with that countries, and then he divide that for the import from the country, and then when he come up with a number, he multiplied by 100%, and then he got the tariff for the other countries, which totally doesn't make sense. And this formula was rejected by like every professional economist, right? So like I say like because he has the power in his hand, right? US is a very strong country, so they can just do whatever they want, right? And also like another reason why this is unfair is because Vietnam export to the US, right? We always exporting like agricultural products, right? Footwear, like Nike, Adidas shoes, like almost all of them like made in Vietnam, right? Industrial input, automobile and transport equipment. And the fact is that all of the products that we export to the US is at a really low price, right? They are cheap products, right? Rice, potatoes, I don't know, right? But what we import from the US is very expensive products like machineries and automobile, right? Cars, chips, stuff like that. And those products are really expensive products. So like because of that difference in prices, there's no way Vietnamese can trade off the good deficit with the US, because we import from them expensive products, right? And they import from us rice and tomatoes. Okay, so that's the reason why this tariff is unreasonable. So what happened on the 3rd of April this year? I experienced it myself, right? So none of you guys are familiar with the stock exchange, right? So this is the graph of BNI, which is the Vietnamese stock exchange. This line is is the price movement of the total stock exchange, like all of the companies inside of the stock exchange. And this is the 2nd of April, all right? And this is the 3rd of April. It just dropped, the prices dropped like a really big amount. And what happened on that day is like I came to my organization, I opened my computers, then I went to my boss room and said, can I go home today because there's nothing to do, right? So in the stock market, there's this notion called the floor price and the ceiling price. Okay, the floor price when it's the lowest price of the day they can get, and the ceiling price the highest price of the day. And on that day when Trump declared the tariff, all of the company on the stock market hit the floor price. It cannot go any lower. Okay, and my boss just says like, oh, you guys can just go home because like there's nothing we can do today, right? And my portfolio, the impact of tariff, it happened like for 4 days, all right? For the worst day in my life this year. every morning, like I wake up, like the account just went like 200 million, 300 million, 500 million, it just keep going down, right? And I think on this day, the 3rd day, a lot of people go bankrupt. A lot of people go bankrupt on the 3rd day, right? And then on the 4th day, on the night of the 3rd day, right? Trump said that he's gonna he's gonna suspend the tariff. He's not gonna like put it in action yet. And then like on this day, everything just stopped, right? That's where like my life just came back again. Because not just me, I bet that everybody that were investing in the stock market, they lost all of their money, everything. Some even lost their house, their car, right? It's a normal thing in the stock market. That is one important thing you guys have to know, right? Okay, so the VN index dropped from 1321. 1321 is the point, all right? It's the price action. 1321, so it dropped to 1,744, which is equivalent to a 90%, 20% decline in just 4 days. And that's the sharpest fall in the history of the Vietnam stock market within just 4 days, right? And yeah, all of the stock hit the floor, including those in like financials, export and retail sectors, and a lot of people go bankrupt. So what really caused the crash, all right? It's not because of Trump. He declared the tariff to protect his own country, right? But like what really caused the crash is because before Trump declared the tariff, the 46%, right? Everybody, like every professional, including me, we all predicted to be 20%, which is less than half of the actual tariff that was placed, right? So when the actual news came out, that is actually 46%, everybody like go into panic, and that led to like a broad sell-off across the stock market. So everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna lose money, I'm gonna have to sell today, because they predicted to like the price of the stock is gonna go down even further, right? And also there's the reason of the security companies lower their margin ratios. So in the stock market, when you guys invest, there's something called the margin ratios, right? Pro investors use margin all the times. So basically, if you have $100, you guys can invest $200. And the other $100 you guys borrow from the securities company without needing like any paperwork at all. It's just very quick, right? So what happened? Why the securities have to lower the margin ratios is because when you guys borrow money from the security companies, your stocks will be put at collateral assets, right? And then when the price go down like too fast and like too much, they have to lower the margin ratios, so they don't put themselves in like a bankrupt scenarios, or like they have to go and like and ask for money from every investor, right? So what happened when the security company lowered their margin ratios is that the person that is holding the stock have to sell them before the stock price go down a certain price, right? If they didn't sell them, the company is gonna force sell. They're gonna force it, and when the company force sell your stock, they're gonna sell it at the lowest price possible, right? And when that happened, when this happened, little this happened plus this happened, so like they just go down, right? You guys are getting what I'm talking about, right? And also there's the institutional interference, right? Actually, the impact of the Trump tariff, the 46%, is not that bad. It's not going to cost like the 20% drop in just 4 days, right? This is what caused the crash to be so hard, because institutional, they see the chance, right? If you guys can buy, let's say like, if you can buy this laptop for $1,000, and if you guys can buy this laptop for $500, which will you guys choose? Pretty obvious. So the institutions, so what are the institutions here, right? Securities company, big banks, individual investor like me with like a lot of money. Yeah, they see the chance to buy the stock with a lower price, right? That's why like they sell their own stock. They don't care about the profit anymore. They sell their own stock to create like even higher drop in the price, to make everybody even like more panic, right? So they have to sell their stock because they don't know how much money they're gonna lose, right? And if you sell on the first day, you lose 7%. If you sell on the second day, you lose 4%. If you guys sell on the third day, you lose 21%, right? So they just have to make like decisions that they have to sell the stock. why the institution want the investor to sell the stock is because the amount of the stock is limited. Let's say there's only 1,000 stock available, right? And if like the masses of the people hold 500, and then the institution only hold 500, right? So they have to force the other side to sell the stock so they can buy it back and they own more stocks. Okay. So the impact of the tariff on the economy, this is a macroeconomic class, right? So because of the tariff 46%, that's going to lead to a decrease in to a decline in export to the United States, right? And we don't want to decline in export to the United States because Vietnam actually export a lot to the United States. The United States is the number one country that we export our product into, right? So if the export rate drop, that is gonna drop the GDP of our country. So estimately a 20 to 30% drop in export could lead to a reduce of GDP growth by 0.5 to 1%. Okay. Back in 2024, I think the GDP growth was 7%, and the government wanted to keep the growth steady at 8% this year. So they don't want this to happen. They don't want the rate to drop, right? And also the impact on the exchange rate. So when you guys export to the US, right, the 46% is gonna go into your money, right? The consumer is gonna pay that extra amount, the 46%. And when the consumer have to pay that 46% extra, they're not gonna buy the Vietnamese product anymore. They're gonna look for like substitute products, like products from like China, India, right? That is going to lead to the organization, the enterprise in the US. They don't want to order from Vietnam anymore. Okay? So that will lead to a decline in the amount of products that the company in Vietnam ship to the US. So when the amount of product from Vietnam shipped to the US decline, that means the amount of dollars that we get back from selling that product decline. Okay, and because the export decline, but the import in our country stay the same, that means we still gonna need to pay that much amount of dollar to the US, but we take in, right? We bring in less dollars. So that's gonna create like an imbalance in the amount of US dollar our whole economy have. So that will lead to a decrease in the Vietnamese and US dollar exchange rate. Okay, and as you guys all know, we don't want that to happen because that will cause inflation. That makes everything we buy like more expensive. All right, nobody wants that. And also there's the FDI outflow from Vietnam. So what is FDI outflow? FDI is short for what is it? Foreign direct investment. Yeah, foreign direct investment. Yeah. So when our currency is weaker, right? The foreign investment, they don't want to invest in our country anymore. They're gonna take their money out. They want to put their money in some other countries where like the rate is better. Okay. So if they take off their money out, it's gonna lead to job loss and even more inflation. Okay. So what will happen when there's inflation, right? More expensive imports, right? So the Vietnamese currency is weaker, so we have to pay higher for the products from other countries. That will also lead to higher inflation, right? One thing you guys need to know about like macroeconomics, that everything is connected, okay? And if you guys can make sense of that connection of everything, you guys can control the market. I mean, not control, but you guys can predict the market. So yeah, the exporting firm is gonna benefit from the exchange rate movement because the US dollar become more expensive, right? They gain US dollar and then they go exchange it into Vietnamese currency, so they gain more. But that gain will not be sufficient to offset the decline of the order volume, right? And also, if the exchange rate go up like too high, then the SBV, which is the State Bank of Vietnam, will have to step in with monetary policy response. So how can they do it? They may have to raise the interest rate to cut the inflation down, right? To stabilize the exchange rate and to attract the FDI investment into our country again. Okay. So the higher interest rate will lead to reduce in investment and consumption. Why? Because if you guys put your money in the bank and you guys receive, let's say, a 5% interest rate a year, right? Compared to you guys put money in the bank and you guys receive 10% interest rate per year. You will put money in the bank, right? Because like say for every investment, 10 to 20% return is pretty high. Right? Not including real estate. Real estate you have to like have like double the investment, right? So because of that reason, when the bank raises interest rate, it's going to slow down the economy, right? All of the money is going to go into the bank, right? Because everybody wants to save and everybody wants to earn interest. That's why the economy is going to go down. That's also affecting our GDP growth and economic growth, and the government don't want that. Because you guys all know, like we have a new secretary in town, right? And so like he just want to like he said that this the kỷ nguyên vươn mình, right? Like so like at this time we don't want that to happen. So what actually like the Trump tariff? Why I say is unreasonable and like the crash of the market doesn't actually like reflect what really happened, because the tariff is on the exported product to the US, right? So they should only affect the stock price of those companies that have a lot of percentage when they export their products to the US, right? Not every company on the stock market. But like what actually happened is that every company on the stock market just hit the floor price for like 4 days continuously, right? But like actually the Vietnamese key export industry just include phone and components, textile and garments, mostly Adidas, Nike shoes, right? Computer components, footwear, wood and wood products, seafood and agricultural products, still just a small, very small percentage, right? So on this slide, you guys can see, right, components and computers. This actually take up almost more than 11% of the total export to the US, Vietnam. Right? This only accounted for the number of Vietnamese product export to the US only. Okay. And then there's come garment, phone, wood, right? So this should be the only industries, the only sector that should have been impacted by that tariff, right? Not every industry, but there's also, because like everything, as you said, everything is connected, right? So there's also like this sector they will be indirectly affected, which is the securities company, right? The stock price go down, so it's reasonable for like the security companies to take the fall too. And like there's banking, right? Banking is the backbone of every economy. So like everything bad happened, the banking sector is going to take the fall also. And there's also industrial real estate. Why industrial real estate take the fall? Does anyone know? No? Yes, you guys can just guess. Okay, so like I just said, right, Vietnam export mostly food, garment, foreign components, right, computer components. We cannot actually make it, right? We don't have the technologies, we don't have the expertise. So all of those kind of products are actually FDI investment, right? So when the tariff is raised, those foreign companies, they're going to look for all the countries with lower like tariff to move their factories into like those areas, right? Because like nobody want like to sell their product at a high price, like 46%, like, right? So when that happens, the industrial real estate sector is gonna take like a very heavy fall, right? Because of the cash flow from the FDI just take out. So all the factories that is producing like say like Nike shoes, folding components, they're gonna stop working. That's gonna lead to like a lot of like job loss. And the industrial real estate gonna take the heavy fall because what they do is that they lend out their land, right? They lend out their land to the foreign company to open factories, and when those companies move out of Vietnam, they're gonna lose their income stream. Okay. And also enterprises that heavily depend on imported raw materials because of the exchange rate movement, right? When our currency is weaker, we have to buy those raw material with a higher price, and the organization they're gonna put that price on you guys, right? They're not gonna take that price. They're not gonna like let their revenue go down and put that onto your head, okay? So the in conclusion, the downward pressure causing the stock in unrelated sector to hit the floor. Actually, it lacks like every fundamental basis. And just like I said to you guys, the main reason why the crash was so hard and so heavy is because institutional interference. Okay. So I'm going to talk about a little bit on like the impact on all the other sectors, like this sector are indirectly impacted by the strong tariff, right? So there's banking. The impact in banking include the indirect impact from export. So when exporting enterprise facing difficulties, that will lead to increase in the risk of bad debts. A bank with a large portfolio of SME clients, you guys all know SME clients, right? Right, and the banks that will be like most heavily impacted are the bank have like a lot of SME clients that work in export in their portfolio. Okay, and also there's the exchange rate and interest rate pressure. So the depreciation of the Vietnam dong will affect funding costs and credit growth. Why I say it affect funding costs? Because you know, like the bank, how they work is actually they borrow money from us, right? That is their capital, right? They borrow money from us, and then they lend it to other person, and then they the revenue, the profit is actually the change in the rate, right? They borrow from us with a lower rate than the rate they are lending out. Okay, so when the rate raise up, that's going to cost the funding cost. I mean, they have to pay higher for us, and then they make less revenue. Okay. And also there's the impact on investor sentiment and stock valuation. Okay, so like I said before, the banking sector is the backbone of every economy. Remember that? Every economy. And let me see a short-term correction in the stock price of those banks. If the growth confirm rise. Okay, so what really happened on the stock market is that the weighted average of the banking sectors actually, I think. I don't remember correctly, but I think it's more than 50% on the stock market, right? So there's banking, there's real estate, there's securities companies. Those were the 2-3 main sectors on the stock market. So when banking fall, everything fall because the weighted average is too big, right? It's more than 50%. So when the stock of the bank company fall, everything is going to be affected. And also there's the impact on the securities company. Okay? Just like I said to you guys, there's 3 main sectors on the stock market, which is real estate, security company, and banking. And there's other sectors as well, like retail, like a lot of stuff like seafood. So for every security companies, their main revenue stream include 3 things. Okay, the first thing is the brokerage fee, which is when you guys trade on the stock exchange through a broker, right? The broker is going to get that fee. So that's one of the 3 main revenue streams for every security companies. The second is margin lending, right? You guys borrow money from the securities company to invest, right? You have to pay interest on that. That is the second most important like revenue stream. And lastly is proprietary trading. Proprietary trading is actually just the security companies. They use their own money to invest in stock, right? So whatever like the return they make, that will come into like their revenue stream. So basically, it's an institution play stock by itself, okay? But one side note, those like foreign institution, like foreign securities company cannot do proprietary trading in Vietnam. Only Vietnamese company can. Okay. So the impact of the securities company. So when the price just go down like by a lot, right? Nobody want to buy, nobody want to sell. And like people like me, like we work in a securities company, we don't even work on those 4 days, right? So what happened is that will create a decline in market liquidities. That will lower the revenue of brokerage in securities company, because the more you trade, the more the broker get, right? And secondly, pressure from foreign capital outflow. So when the foreign investment they take their money out of the Vietnamese stock market because the market is not good anymore, right? Because of the tariff, that will reduce the price of every stock and also reduce the margin lending to the clients, and also the securities company have to increase their provisioning. That will also lead to a decrease in revenue of those companies. Also, there's the impact on proprietary trading. Sharp market volatility and declining stock price raise the risk of short-term losses. So because of like the risk factor, some company will have to sell like a part of their stock, right, and take the loss. They're gonna take the loss on that day. So that's gonna affect the valuation price of that security companies. That will affect the revenue stream and profit of that companies. All right. So that's the impact of Trump tariffs on security companies and banking. Okay. And I'm going to talk about real estate as well, because it also includes in one of the 3 main sectors. Okay, so what you guys need to know about real estate is that there's 3 main subsectors inside real estate, right? Real estate is not just real estate. Inside real estate, there's commercial real estate, which is you guys buying houses where you stay, you guys will buying like condos, right? There's industrial real estate. What it is companies they lend out their land to like foreign like to anybody that needs that land so they can build their factory on it. That is industrial real estate. And lastly, there's construction real estate, right? The word explained by itself. Construction real estate, they just like the more land needed, the more the construction company is gonna make. So for the industrial real estate, is the Trump tariff is actually a challenge, a really big challenge, because it will force the FDI's money stream to go out of Vietnam. But there's also a big opportunities in that. Okay, you guys all know the Trump tariff. Trump placed it on the 3rd of April, but he actually like hold it. It's not going to be inactive, right? He held it for like 3 months, for a period of 3 months to negotiate with the other countries. Because what he actually wants is he doesn't want that tariff to go into action. What he actually wants is he wants to negotiate. Okay? So if the negotiated rate of our country is lower than the other country, then the industrial real estate is gonna become like popular again. Right? What happened is that the foreign investment they will look for the country with the best tax, okay, with the lowest tax, and then they invest in it. And if our like negotiation go well, there's going to be a really good opportunities for like investor to invest in the industrial real estate sector, right? And as you guys all know, like Vietnamese have this thing like "mai sao pay che," yeah. Yeah. And also there's the thing about commercial real estate. So fewer jobs in industrial zone will lead to a reduce in demand for worker housing, right? What I mean by that is in industrial zone, workers they don't go home, Okay, they just rent out their houses nearby, or they just stay in the industrial zone. They don't go and buy houses. Okay, so that will lead to like a reduce in demand for local housing, dormitories, and low-cost apartment in the whole area across that industrial zone. Okay, for construction real estate, so if the import volumes of input materials remain unchanged while the Vietnam dong depreciate, it will cause the construction material price to rise. What happened is construction companies, they want to make less money, right? Because their material prices is actually higher. Okay. So what exactly happened? The impact of Trump tariff is like this, right? If you guys are a trader or you guys like trading stock, these 4 days will be the worst 4 days of your life in this year. I promise you that. Just imagine like waking up one day and like you lost all your money, probably you have to sell your house, sell your car, right? That is, the impact is really big. The impact is really, really big. Okay. But fortunately, we renegotiated the tariff. And as of now, the Vietnamese tariff to export to the US is 20%, which is, I say, like the benchmark for the whole Southeast Asia region. So we are not better than other countries, but we are not also like worse than other countries. Okay, so of the FDI investment, they still put their money in our country. They didn't take it out. And the main reason of the Trump tariff is to stop China from exporting their product into our country, and then from our country they sell it back to the US, right? To receive like a lower tax rate, because tax rates for China to import to export to the US is actually a lot higher than from our country. So Trump did this move to prevent China to transshipping their products into our country, right? And the renegotiated tax rate for transshipment products into the US right now, I think it's about like 40 or 49%. Okay. So if we don't like the government don't control that, the tax rate of Vietnam is gonna go back to 46%. Okay. So in conclusion, what happened like after Trump declared the 46% tariff on Vietnam is super horrible, super horrible. If we didn't like renegotiate that, you guys will feel the pain, right? You guys didn't feel the pain at all because we renegotiated after 3 months, right? But if the tax rate stayed the same, everything you guys die would be like a lot higher. Okay. So like this is my life experience in the stock market, like what I pay for with money, with sweat, with time. Okay, so this is the 4 most important experience that I can tell you guys. It's pretty like on the macro level, because like I cannot teach you guys how to play stock just in like 1 hour or so, right? So if you guys ever want to invest or like challenge yourself in the stock exchange, right? Because it's the easiest but also the hardest, like a child investment. These are the 4 things I think you guys should remember. First is everything is controlled, right? The market is not a free market. Everything is controlled. It's controlled by like players with big monies, institutionals, and the government. Okay, it's not a free. It's a free market on certain days. On certain days. Okay, and also like the news is the key, right? You like you can value like a stock price, right? You can say it's $10 or like $12 or like $8. I don't care. It's important, but it's not that important. What important is the news. All right. If you like ever want to like invest in stock, read the news like a lot, because the thing is when there's like an organization put on the news, the stock market is gonna react by like maybe like a 10% profit on the next day for you guys, or like maybe like a 10% loss. Okay. So the Vietnamese stock market, or like every stock market, it reacts really fast and like really sensitive to the news. Okay? And there's also patient that you guys cannot like become a billionaire over like a night or like a year. So if you guys ever like invest in anything, not just the stock exchange, all right, just be patient because fast money is only for fools, right? Fast money, like what comes fast will go fast. That's my life experience. And I think you guys should remember that because you guys will definitely feel that in the future. Okay? And also prioritizing on keeping your own capital. It's not about making a profit. Okay? It's about surviving. Right? You guys need to stay. You guys need to like stay afloat. You guys need to survive in order to keep like making money. Okay? Don't afraid like to take losses because you have to make it back. But like if you lose your capital, it's hard to make back. It's really hard to make back. All right, so that is my whole presentation. I actually make like 200 million while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, and because I work in finance, right? I work in finance. Everything with me is about money. So she made this Kahoot quiz for you guys, and let's see.
You can also send the link to student in the contact. Okay, have the link.
1, 2, 4, 600. I have 600 in cash, right? Whoever win the first prize got the 600 in cash. Okay? In the finance world, cash is king. Remember that, okay? Cash is king. Em đặt cái link.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you trade Hòa Phát Group stock?
I did.
Do you trade Hòa Phát Group stock?
Hòa Phát company, right? HPG.
Yes.
Yeah.
One question. Do you think that the super too complex that Hòa Phát is investing in will like make an offset to the raw ingredient that they import?
I didn't get your question yet, actually.
So do you know about the super too complex that Hòa Phát Group?
Yes.
So do you think that their operation will somehow offset their imports from China?
Import from China?
Yeah, like for example, they import like raw stock.
You don't actually have to worry about like importing steel from China because Vietnam actually like we have our own tariff to prevent China from like exporting their steel into our country. So like whatever steel we produce in our country is a lot cheaper, right? So like the consumer would like to buy cheaper prices, right? So that's not the main case. The main case you should be worried about is about like that high speed railway they are planning to build. That's going to consume a lot of steel, right? And Q&A. Yeah. So do you guys have any question related to like tariff or like anything like investment? I can give you guys my experience and questions. So no question. Okay. What I want to tell you guys is that macroeconomic is important. It's super important, right? I actually like more than 1 billion in the last 3 months because of this crash. Because of the crash, and my capital is 1.2 billion, 1.2 million. So I make more than double in 3 months. Okay. I make more than double in 3 months. That's because I know that what the market actually shows is not what actually like should happen, right? So if you guys know your stuff on macroeconomics, it's gonna help you guys a lot, not in just like trading stock, but like also in like I don't know, like your family business, because everything is interconnected. It's relevant.
Okay, so while we wait for the Kahoot, so I would like to share my experience. Actually, I have a student who studied macro with me, and then actually he was actually quite a lot. Then after he graduated, and he worked for a stock market company. Then one day suddenly I received a letter from the old student, and he asked me, "Then can you like teach me macroeconomics again
Yeah, it's
because he worked for the stock market company.
and it's not only important like to when you guys are trading stock, it's important even like in your family business, or even if you guys want to open your own business someday, it's important. Okay. The most important factor I can tell you guys is interest rate. Always pay attention to interest rate, okay, and exchange rate, and government policy. That's the three things you guys should consider. Oh, and supply chain. What is it?
I listened a lot of news and America reduced the interest rate and a lot of the news with the newspaper by matching a lot of different benefit for Vietnamese index.
Yeah. So I understand your question. So what happened is that imagine it like this, all right? I don't know if the US is gonna decrease or raise the interest rate, but if they actually decrease the interest rate, what happened is the US citizen, the US companies, they're not gonna put their money in the bank, right? You don't want to put money in the bank when you only like earn like 3% a year, right? Nobody wants 3% a year, right? They're gonna take their money out. And what they're going to do with it, right? They're going to invest it into other countries, right? So we're going to be indirectly benefiting, right? And what happens if the Fed raise the interest rate? The US citizen, the US companies, they're going to put their money in the bank, right? Maybe not all of it, but they're going to put more money in the bank if the interest rate raise, right? So what happens is that the amount that should be invested in our country instead will be directed back to the US. So that's what will happen, like on the macro level. Link. Được rồi.
You can play the game now, right?
Lên trên màn hình. Để cho các bạn scan đi đúng không?
Yeah, I already sent the link to them.
Oh, okay. Okay, you guys, I don't have a lot of cash on me, but there's 600 winner only, okay? It's not a lot, but it's what I have right now. Can you guys join the links?
What's the pin? What's the pin?
857579.
Nhưng mà mình phải cho nó bật trên này. Cái nào đi trên này. Coi sẽ để bật cho các bạn. Không được cắm máy màn hình là gì em nhiều cái vô chỉ.
What's the pin code again?
Pin. So the pin is 857 579. Okay, so this is going to be a 10 question, all right? Question. Only the winner have got the prize. I don't care what you guys do with that money. Don't tell me, okay? You guys can you guys can spend it, or you guys can invest it back into my pocket, and then I back it into 1,200 billion, right? I don't know. One person just asked me my perspective on the Trump tariff for the future in Vietnam. Let's say like for the next 1 year, okay? I cannot predict like too far into the future, but I say like for the next 1 year, the tariff is going to stay the same, 20%. Okay, unless the Vietnamese government doesn't do like a good job like in controlling the products that came into our country from China. If that happened, I think Trump is going to raise the tariff back to 46%. So whoever asked that question, if you guys like have an interest on that topic, just pay attention to the news. Okay? Have all of you guys join? Yes.
You have maybe participate.
All right, who want to join but like haven't like cannot join yet? You guys can write your answers on the paper.
But if calculate the point,
That's difficult. How about we go to group? Yeah. Whoever like haven't like cannot like sign in, you guys can ask your friend to be in the group. I know. Or if your friend is greedy.
We have to agree on dividing the money.
Yeah. So have you guys you haven't joined, right?
Yeah, I have.
You have a group yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? You have a group yet?
Yeah.
You have, okay.
But we have.
So anybody else?
We have not joined yet.
Oh, you also haven't joined?
The whole.
I have to put you guys. Okay, so who have joined? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Don't be many who have joined. Who have joined? Okay. Do you want to be in this group? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You go ahead and go here. All right. Yeah. I need to put you guys in group. You have, right? You have joined, right? Do you want to join this? So two of you guys want to join with her?
Yeah.
All right. So you have already? No? Oh, you joined already. All right. So everybody's have a group, right? And already is in, right? You guys decide on how you guys want to divide the money. Okay. So we start in 3, 2, 1, go. So a lot of people got this right. So I guess you guys are listening to my presentation, right? What's the first place? Ealing. Who is ealing?
No, this question.
They pay attention. You guys pay attention. I feel happy for that. I feel happy for that.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Vicky and Eileen on the first and second place, pretty close. Right? Yo, if you win, I'd be like gladly give my money to you just to pay like attention. Yeah. What we do? Let's see who will do it. Okay. Okay, three more questions left. All right.
His wife told him so.
Oh, okay. Five. Five.
I'm very sorry.
Oh, you drop. Don't drop like a crash, right? Wow.
Yes.
All right, last question.
God. Okay. I'm we're not losing.
Okay, let's see who's the winner. The prize got no prize, alright? In my order, I got no prize.
Why just?
Okay, who's cooked me?
Who's coming?
Who's cooked me? You cook me? You cook me? Let me see, let me see, let me see. Two, four, six, congratulations. All right, guys, so that concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope that my experience can help you guys in the future. I'm very happy that you guys got like a lot of questions correctly because that proves that you guys listened to my presentation. So that's it. Thank you.
Except the last question.
That's because you came late, right?
Oh my God.
Thank you, Professor Chi and Chi for visiting RMIT. I hope that you have a lot of fun, right? Again, so I really enjoy it, and I think it's very practical. So thank you, the online student. Thank you. It's been so fun.